sitting here with this guy, Matthew Wine,
There you go.
and he's like, "Well, I mean, do you really think it's going to start this time? The storms?" And I was like, "Matthew, it's Thursday morning." He's wanting to get down to the exact minute
to the
when the
minute.
storms are going to
Look,
happen in
it's
every
important.
county.
It's important.
It is, but we can't figure that out right now. It's hard to get tomorrow's specific timing correct.
Look, I haven't been here in a few days. I'm off my game. All right,
He's
That's what
going to
it
be
is.
on his
off
game
my rocker as
pretty
well.
soon. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Happy to be back.
That
glad,
is
glad that Mark and Rick were able to fill in for me.
Yeah, he was out this
I
weekend.
did. Yeah, I caught the vid. So
Not feeling too good,
Yeah.
but he's back in action and
We're
he's
here.
ready to rock and roll. He'll be here this weekend.
absolutely.
And that's what we were discussing about the thunderstorm chance and the wind and the rain and the good.
Yeah.
Nice looking Saturday, highs in the 80s. Sunday comes in with some misery.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge switch come our way. I mean, a solid 20-degree change just about. So
lot
we'll dig
different.
into all that in just a little bit here. Let's talk first. I mean, what's going on outside right now, and then also what we've got coming down the pipeline. I mean, Jude, we could see this morning started off like a lot of mornings around here where it's been clear of rain, but instead this time, not a bunch of sunshine. We've got a bunch of cloud cover that has managed to make its way back in here. You don't see a ton on satellite and radar right now. A lot of it has started to clear out, so that's good news. But that system out to the west, you can see it there on your screen over north of Colorado, up in Wyoming. That's the big system that's going to be heading our way, bringing us the rain chances this weekend.
There was a severe thunderstorm watch in LA. It was Monday morning.
Yeah.
And I was like to Mike Marshall, I said, dude, look at this. Like there's a blue box
Mm-hmm.
out there in Southern California, a severe thunderstorm watch.
Unusual.
It had been almost 20 years
Really?
since I
Now that surprises me.
think it was 2008, the last time they had a severe
Wow.
thunderstorm watch.
I was just a wee lad.
That's how rare it is. But this storm, it's potent.
Yeah.
It's big. It's moving more towards the northern plains, not necessarily the center of it right now, ready to move right on top of us. But what it's going to do, it's going to help form a bigger storm, get more energy pulling into it, heading up towards the Great Lakes.
Mhm.
And we're showing you the wind, where it is and where it isn't. It's not here just yet. But let's just think about this. Even for the weekend, if there's not one storm at your house,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking like thunder, lightning storm crashing around, the wind, because of this strong front and the actual strength of the low pressure, it might end up 40 to 50 miles per hour for
Right.
some of us.
Kind of a trash can alert type of scenario where all day long,
Halloween decoration alert.
that definitely, no doubt about that. So we've got some warmer afternoons ahead of us here. I mean, yeah, we started off the day cool and cloudy today, but we're going to slowly be increasing those temperatures today and then into tomorrow, and then especially on Saturday. That'll be the hottest of the next 7 days. But that weekend cold front, as it rolls through here, it changes everything up for us. And while it may bring pretty conditions on the backside, it'll bring significantly cooler conditions. So, dude, let's roll through this. Today, again, we're getting rid of the clouds. Temperatures don't go crazy, but they'll be seasonally warm.
Tomorrow
Friday morning, it's a
I-
cool one.
It is. It's going to be a lot cooler. And something I was saying on WDRB mornings, with those high clouds, like 30,000 feet, the ice crystals up
Mhm.
there, and the sun popping up 7:45, 8 o'clock. Oh, it has potential to be like one of those stop you in your tracks 10 out of 10.
Yeah, but it's not going to be the low clouds that would act like a blanket like we had last night. That's why we were warmer to start
About
this morning than we're going to be
60.
tomorrow.
It was about 60 degrees for
Yeah.
low temperatures. Tomorrow morning, though, you need a jacket.
Yeah, absolutely. Those clouds do filter back in throughout the day, though, and that blocks out some sunshine. Not anticipating rain until maybe late Friday night into early Saturday morning. A little batch of maybe some prefrontal showers could potentially move through, but not expecting much out of that.
So let's get into this forecast when it gets serious. At least it starts to look serious, right? A band of red. Quite often, you'll see this and be like, severe thunderstorms. I mean, there's a cold front. We're going to go from the 80s to the 50s, happen in 24 hours. A lot of wind power. I mean, you see a line like that, it has to be severe weather, right? Right, Matthew?
I mean, if that's your conclusion, but I don't think it has to be because we've got more than just future radar scans to look at here.
This, when you look at future radar, whenever you see red and purple and black and white, those colors that are vibrant, like, oh, that has nothing to do with storms.
No, it has to do more so with the heavy rain that's going to be produced. With
It's all about intensity. Green is light intensity, but when you get up there, Yes, when you have red, it's pouring down rain, and sometimes it's pouring down rain because there's a storm. But don't look at future radar and associate that with the line of severe weather,
But,
because right
yeah, it's
now
not wind, it's not rotation.
it really doesn't look like this is going to come in Saturday evening with a line of, a squall line of damaging wind and severe
Right.
weather all over the place. One thing we're going to do today is discuss what would help the chance for severe weather and what's going to help us prevent severe weather from developing in Kentucky, and at least specifically in the counties that we cover. But in IU, in Bloomington for the IU Michigan State game, normally if it's Bloomington weather, like it's IU's playing whatever, but now that they're top 5, man, there's a lot of people that are going to be up there, even if they're not at the game. They're tailgating, they're hanging out with family and friends. Bloomington's a place Saturday evening for the second half of the game where rain and storms could absolutely move in, and then at some point after that, the first wave of showers and storms is going to come through Kentucky. And now, in a more realistic timeline, you and I were saying maybe like 6 to midnight to just be ready after a quiet daytime.
Right.
6 to midnight, at some point, we're going to get that line of rain, some embedded thunder, and some gusty winds with it.
Yeah, I think that is the most likely scenario here. I mean, you never want to say, oh, I ruled this out entirely, especially this far in advance. But it's one of those scenarios. I know for those that were watching Rick and Mark talk about this a couple days ago, on Tuesday, they were talking about how slight risk 6 days out, 5 days out, that sort of thing that they were putting it out. It is a little bit crazy. And we tend to reserve those for days that we know severe weather is going to happen, like for sure. And we're anticipating if you got a slight risk out, a level 2, 4 or 5 or 6 days out, you anticipate it to go up. In this scenario, we anticipated it going down. And so it's kind of like, why put out that urgency type of message so far in advance? And that is what's happened here. It does look like we're tailoring back that threat quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, the thing that we have, that big red L, intensifying low pressure. The pressure's dropping a lot. So that usually has some strong winds with it. Another thing that we have going from the forecast highs in the 80s Saturday will be dropping into the 50s by Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah.
So there's two things that's going to stir up something. You got your wind, you have your rain, you have your thunderstorms. But if you're going to get severe weather where you're talking wind 58 miles per hour or greater, if you're going to have severe hail, inch in diameter or larger, or by definition, anything severe, if you have a tornado, if you have rotation, that's considered severe. You need a lot more than just those two things that we were covering with the temperature drop and also looking at that low pressure. That's intensifying low pressure. You need some fuel.
You need some energy and
some juice, baby.
We definitely don't have very much to work with here when those storms first start to roll on in. I mean, we're talking values on the very, very low end here. We would tend to expect to see maybe this time of year, I mean, I don't know what, 500 to 1,000 joules per kilogram for the
that can get it done.
It could, but we're going to be significantly less than that. I think that these values are going to be around 100 to maybe 200, and that's just not much, especially for the start of a severe weather event.
So we just showed you that future radar. Remember at 6 o'clock, 6 to 9, it was coming in well west of I-65.
Yeah.
So we had all that red on there. We were saying, is it going to be storms? Maybe some storms, but that line of heavy rain and wind is moving into this. Like that is diddly squat in terms of juice, energy, fuel. So as it outruns what's out in Arkansas and Missouri, the fuel, it should be a stronger thunderstorm scenario that's weakening a little bit. There'll be some lightning in your heavy rain, but we just don't link this up to a perfect scenario where it's like all hands on deck. This is going to be a wild night. Now, with that being said, there are so many dynamics when it comes to powerful winds and a strong low pressure that's good enough to at least give us the low end threat for some stray thunderstorms that are strong, 40, 50 mile per hour winds, to maybe an isolated severe thunderstorm where those winds could get to 60 or 65 miles per hour. I mean, that is definitely something that can happen. It's not like we're saying no way, but when you're talking about the bullseye zone where there's more instability, that's it, right?
Yeah,
right
I'm,
there.
I'm just looking at some winds and things aloft. I mean, we're going to have a lot of wind energy there, but I do think that a lot of that may actually be outrunning ahead of the actual storms getting here. So, if that's going to be the scenario and your best energy is behind the storms and your best winds are ahead of the storms, well, things should start linking up right, which is why they have chopped back this slight risk quite a bit. It covered basically all of Western Kentucky yesterday, I
It
think.
went up to about Owensboro.
Okay, yeah.
Owensboro,
But it had gone a little
Evansville.
bit further than that, I think, on Tuesday, and maybe not by much, but yeah, it even crept into southern Indiana, and that's just not the scenario anymore. Things have definitely
Well,
changed.
and that's going to happen. I
Yeah.
mean, you want to criticize forecasts. I mean, you're looking at things 5 days out,
Mm-hmm.
then you're at 4 days, then 3 days. Like, expect change.
Yeah.
Never do you get something that's a week out and it just stays the same and stays the same and you don't adjust it. I
Yeah.
mean, like that happens. You have to be understanding of that. It's going to morph. Sometimes it's going to get worse. Sometimes it's going to get better. I mean, it's weather.
And fortunately for us, it was all positive changes so far. So we're getting the good stuff, rain. We could use some rain at just about any time. We've still got some abnormally dry conditions around here. Seen significant improvements with the drought based on the rain that we've had over the last couple weeks. But yeah, I mean, positive improvements. I don't think any of us are going to complain about that.
You're looking at a weekend, just a little bit of a recap for anyone that's just now tuning in. We've covered that Saturday is warm. The south wind will get breezier throughout the day. Some gusts of 15 miles per hour, maybe 20 miles per hour in the afternoon, which is sort of lighting the wick for the warmth. Maybe the last day with highs in the low to mid 80s
I
for
was
some
going
of
to
us.
ask you about that.
I mean, we still have the rest of October, but looking at the long range, 80s don't necessarily look likely,
Mm-hmm.
even though we'll have some swings in November. I mean, we definitely 40% of the time get some highs in the 80s in the month of November, but there's a chance this could play out the last time. Saturday comes in, say we hit 83, 84. That might end up being the warmest that we get for the rest of the
month.
year. But
Yeah.
the daytime Saturday looks good. So if you have homecoming, weddings, it's Saturday night, 6 o'clock to midnight. That's that generic timeline that we're giving you right now, that rain and storms will develop, move in from the west, and then really link up with that front coming through in the overnight through early Sunday. And I did all caps with exclamation, windy,
Yep.
and non-thunderstorm winds, 40 to 45 miles per hour. I would imagine a wind advisory is going to be needed.
I'd say so.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the winds could get to 50 miles per hour without lightning.
And that in and of itself can knock down some tree branches and things like that, some loose stuff, and cause some issues. So, again, one of those scenarios that while they're not severe, something that we want folks to keep in mind. You've got the decorations up. You said that earlier, the Halloween decorations. Some of those things, some of the inflatables may have to come down.
Those inflatables,
Yep.
oh my gosh, they drive me nuts.
And-
It's fun, but I will stand in the living room looking out the window on days where there's 15 to 20 mile per hour winds. I'm like, please stay anchored.
Yeah.
And you're talking
Yeah.
about this Saturday night and all day Sunday with
Don't count on it.
Amen,
I would
Christmas.
say just go ahead. First thing in the morning on Saturday, bring it down.
Bring it down. Make
Just
sure you
deflate the
don't
fella.
turn the switch on, and tell your kids, don't turn that switch up to get
May
the
have
air
to
going.
unplug it entirely so nobody messes around with it.
And before we shut this down, Sunday, the change for Sunday, probably 50s, dropping into the 50s at some point in the morning.
Yeah.
And we'll dry out for a little while. It doesn't look like it rains all day, but that colder northwesterly wind's going to hold us in the 50s and 60s during the day. So going from the 80s to that, it'll be a big change. And then most of next week, looking like highs in the 60s the majority of the time.
Crazy to think about. I mean, we've had some cool weeks around here where we had highs in the 70s with that nice cool sunshine. But yeah, this next week will be a real taste of fall for us, and it's going to stick around for a while.
Anything else you want to say?
Glad you guys could join us.
That's
Just happy
it?
to be here. That's all I got.
Nothing else?
Hi, Mom at home.
There you go.
That's about it.
Glad you're feeling better.
Thank you,
Welcome
brother.
back, man. And we'll keep you posted. Matthew's on the midday show today, and Mark and Rick later on tonight. I'll be back tomorrow morning, and we'll do it all again. And hopefully, if there's any changes, we can remove any severe weather talk entirely.